So the rig's still sidelined, so I'm not going to be able to do a TIG Tuesday video for you on TIG welding. So what I figured I'd do is do a TIG video on how to sharpen tungsten. I got 3 different types here. They're lanthanated, all of them, but they're different sizes. I've got 1/8, 1/16, and 3/32. I use a little bit different grinds on the different tungstens, so I'll show you all that now. Now to sharpen tungsten, the best tool I found is one of these bench grinders like this one here. This is a Craftsman 6-inch bench grinder. I've got a coarse stone and a fine stone. And what you do, you take your tungsten. We'll start off with one of these 3/32 tungstens. I'm going to start with one of these 3/32 tungstens right here. As you can see, I've already sharpened this and used it before. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. There. You can see it's kind of blunted off from welding with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen it with this grinder. So first we turn on the grinder. Got our safety glasses on. Okay, when you're grinding a tungsten, you want to hold it at about a 30-degree angle to the grinding stone. And you want to move it back and forth as you're grinding. And one thing of note, do not wear gloves when you're grinding using a pedestal grinder, because if your glove gets caught by that grinding wheel, it will snatch your hand inside of that grinder. And it's actually against OSHA to wear gloves while using one of these. But you want to check it every now and then to double check your grind on it and your angle, make sure it's right. And as you can see, this one's about perfect there. Now this here is a 1/16 tungsten. I like the grinds on them to be about just a hair longer than the diameter of the tungsten. So now I'm going to grind some 1/8 tungsten from a fresh factory piece. It takes a little bit longer, and you just want to basically just get started and adjust your angle as you go. And it takes a long time doing it by hand like this to get it and keep it even, because that's what you want when you grind the tungsten. You want it as concentric as possible of a grind. I'm going to show a trick in a minute that will actually make it a lot easier. And is real easy to do. But I'm just grinding away on it right now, and it takes time to grind and sharpen them straight. And you want your grind marks to go longitudinally on the grind. You don't want them to go crossways, because if they go crossways, then it can cause your arc to go off in strange directions while you're welding with it. But it's something that's easy to do once you get the hang of it, and this is what I learned on when I was in school, was a pedestal grinder. We didn't have any of those fancy tungsten grinders that are basically a Dremel with a modified head. Those things cost too much, and basically most schools you won't have one of those, and in the field you'll be lucky if you have one of those. But just about any shop you'll work at will have one of these. And if you're in the field, a trick you can do to sharpen a tungsten, if you've got just an angle grinder, is you can do the same thing on an angle grinder. You just have to be a lot more careful with it. But like here, I chucked this, the trick to make it a lot easier and keep it more concentric is to chuck it up in a drill like this and spin the drill as you're putting it against the stone, and it'll keep your angle concentric to the center of that tungsten, because it's constantly turning. It's not just sitting in one space like when you're turning it by hand. Sometimes you can get a little flat spot, or a little spot that'll be a little bit deeper of an angle. And as you can see, it's all concentric all the way around. Now what I like to do is I like to blunt the tip with a much sharper angle, which you can see right here. Now a tip for sharpening tungsten, that is a power tip when you're sharpening these. That way you don't have to hold the tungsten and you get a more uniform sharpening, is to use a drill of some kind. You chuck it up in the drill, and as you're grinding it, you turn the drill and it'll sharpen it to a precision point. And that's your TIG power tip of the day. So if you like this video and want to see more TIG Tuesday videos like it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and click that little bell icon to be notified of our future videos. Till next time, keep on welding, folks.